remember when the spin, the bracelets, and that theme song made you feel like maybe, just maybe, you could also deflect bullets in knee-high boots? Wonder Woman premiered on ABC in 1975 and starred Lynda Carter as Diana Prince, Amazonian demigoddess turned military secretary turned superhero. Because apparently feminism in the 1970s came with a golden lasso and a closet full of satin tights. The show ran for 3 seasons of patriotic crime fighting, questionable props, and the occasional giant robot. So grab your tiara and invisible jet keys, because we're counting down 15 glorious Wonder Woman TV show facts you probably never knew. Now, before we jump in, be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. Now let's get into it with number 15. The spin wasn't in the comics. You know that signature spin transformation? Yeah, it wasn't in the comics and definitely wasn't in the original scripts. Producers hadn't figured out how Diana Prince would transform into Wonder Woman. Lynda Carter thought a basic cut-to-costume change felt clunky, so she pitched the spin. Something elegant, magical, and theatrical. In the early episodes, the spin was slow, awkward, and completely missing that burst of light we all remember. Plus, Diana still had to stash her street clothes in a locker or closet afterward. Superpowers, yes, a place to put her clothes. Let's go mere mortal with that. Eventually, the producers leaned into the fantasy. They added that glowing mid-spin explosion and dropped the whole "where do we put the clothes" question. The result was pure TV magic. The final version of the spin became so iconic, DC Comics eventually added it to Wonder Woman's lore. That's right, Lynda Carter spun so hard she actually rewrote the canon. And sure, it only lasted a couple seconds on screen, but that was all it took. We all spun right along with her in our living rooms, hoping we'd turn into a superhero too. We didn't, but we had fun trying. Fact number 14, Wonder Woman changed networks and centuries.
Hello, Tommy.
Wonder Woman, your lasso, the Baroness stole it.
No, when?
Tonight. And she and Hanson took it away.
After one season of golden lassos and Nazi punching in the 1940s, ABC decided Wonder Woman wasn't worth the wartime budget. Despite decent ratings, the network balked at the cost of recreating the World War II era. Vintage planes, military uniforms, old-timey everything. Turns out patriotism doesn't come cheap, so they passed on renewing it.
And who's gonna stop me? You, of all people, should realize how useless that gun is against me.
Enter CBS. They swooped in with a simple pitch. Why not bring Wonder Woman into the present day? Ditch the 1940s, save money, and lean into those 70s spy sci-fi vibes. Suddenly, Diana Prince was working with the IADC, catching bad guys with gadgets that looked suspiciously like Radio Shack leftovers. And to explain why Steve Trevor still had the same face? Easy. Just make him Steve Trevor Jr., played by the same actor, because genetics and TV logic, of course. The retooled version was cheaper, flashier, and modern enough to attract a new audience. CBS gave Wonder Woman 2 more seasons to spin, pose, and save the day, this time with disco lighting. Number 13. That theme song slaps, and was slapped together in 48 hours.
Wonder Woman, all the world is waiting for you.
That jazzy, horn-blasting theme song, yeah, it was written in under 48 hours by composer Charles Fox and lyricist Norman Gimbel. They basically cranked it out between projects like a late-night pizza order. They managed to name-drop satin tights, fighting for rights, and somehow turned Wonder Woman's whole vibe into a patriotic disco pep rally. Vocals came courtesy of John Baller, with backup from Marty McCall, Carolyn Willis, and Julia Waters. And like the show itself, the theme song got a makeover. Season 1 aired on ABC and was set in the 1940s, so the lyrics name-dropped World War II like it was still breaking news. But when the show jumped to CBS and into the groovy 1970s, the war stuff got scrapped for something more modern. And midway through Season 2, Balor's vocals were replaced with a synthesizer, because nothing says cutting-edge heroism like a Casio keyboard. Season 3 switched things up again. Balor returned solo, the female chorus vanished, and the whole thing got a slick new arrangement from Johnny Harris. No matter the version, different lyrics, vibes, or vocals, they all slapped. And here's a fun fact. In 1978, the Wonderland Disco Band gave the theme a remix because the 70s had a strict disco-fy everything policy. Number 12, those bullet-blocking bracelets were literally fire. Those iconic bullet-deflecting bracelets, they were totally real and surprisingly explosive. In Season 1, the set during World War II, Diana wore silver-toned bracelets that matched her traditional costume. But when the show jumped to the 1970s and moved to CBS, her whole look got a glam update. Out went the silver and in came sleek gold cuffs that fit the flashier modern vibe. The bracelets weren't just for show either. They were rigged with tiny pyrotechnics, and Carter would trigger sparks using a hidden remote in her palm. So every time you saw a bullet bounce off, that was a carefully timed stunt with real firepower. No CGI, just guts, wires, and a lot of trust in the props team. Number 11, the invisible jet. CBS made it worse.
Los Alamos, this is Wonder Woman. Can you tell me if flight 690-578's arrived?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman's jet might have been invisible, but on screen, it was very obviously a toy plane on a string. And honestly, we were okay with it, because at least ABC kinda tried. The Season 1 model was clearly a toy, but between the lighting and camera angles, they managed to fake it with a straight face. But by Season 2, CBS took over, budgets got tighter, and subtlety went out the window. Suddenly, we were looking at a plastic jet shaped like a Concorde with a very obvious doll in the cockpit, just chilling midair like she was on her way to Malibu. Sometimes even a mini Steve Trevor hitched a ride. It looked less like cutting-edge technology and more like something you'd win at a carnival for knocking over milk bottles. And yet somehow Lynda Carter made it work. No matter what kind of prop they gave her, even a flying action figure display case, she sold it. The jet was supposed to be invisible and the budget made sure it wasn't. Number 10. Wonder Woman had a star-spangled wetsuit because even superheroes needed swimwear. When it came to fighting crime underwater, Diana didn't just dive in. She made a splash in a custom star-spangled wetsuit. Costume designer Donfeld, yes, just Donfeld, originally designed a red, white, and blue bikini for Lynda Carter, but it didn't hold up during filming, literally. So instead of risking a wardrobe malfunction, they opted for a sleek blue wetsuit covered in white stars. It was skin tight, functional, and still totally flattering, because let's face it, Lynda Carter could have worn a scuba mask and flippers and still looked like she was headed to a Vogue shoot. Number 9, Wonder Woman had 3 moms. Kinda. If Queen Hippolyta seemed a little different every time she showed up, you weren't imagining it. Diana's mom was played by 3 different actresses over the course of the show. First, there was Cloris Leachman in the 1975 pilot, serving Amazonian glam with the confidence of someone who had already had an Oscar on her shelf. Well, because she did.
The instant he returns to civilization, the world will know about us.
Then came Carolyn Jones, best known as Morticia Addams. Different vibe, but same crown. She was nominated for an Oscar, so yes, the Queen of Paradise Island was also the Queen of Spooky Chic.
Your daughter grows stronger and more agile every day.
Yes, she grows more and more like her older sister.
And in Season 2, They handed the role to Beatrice Straight, who had just won an Academy Award for Network, because apparently Paradise Island had a very aggressive awards quota to meet. So yeah, across 3 seasons, Wonder Woman's mom was played by 2 Oscar winners and 1 Oscar nominee, all on a show where the invisible jet was a plastic toy with a doll inside. Say what you want about the effects budget, the casting department was shooting for Olympus, okay? Number 8, the skirt, the cape, and the drama. When Lynda Carter twirled into Wonder Woman, she didn't just get a new outfit. She got a whole wardrobe, and in season 1, that included a star-spangled skirt and a dramatic, patriotic cape. The skirt wasn't for fighting. It showed up mostly during formal or diplomatic scenes, like superhero business casual. You'll spot it in episodes like Judgment from Outer Space and The Last of the $2 Bills, where Wonder Woman was doing more diplomacy than dropkicks. The cape, well, that was pure spectacle. It debuted in season 1 and added full red, white, and blue drama whenever Diana needed to make an entrance or a landing.
Wonder Woman.
Steve.
Hi.
By the time the show moved to CBS and jumped to a modern-day setting, the skirt quietly disappeared. Diana was back in the classic shorts full-time, ready to leap over cars and chase down criminals without catching a hemline. The cape, however, stuck around. It didn't show up in every episode, but when it did, it pulled double duty, dramatic flair, and clever stunt cover. It gave superhero landings extra sparkle and helped disguise those inevitable stunt double switch-outs. A few other costume tweaks came with the update, like different color bracelets and a redesigned belt, but the cape remained the ultimate fashion meets function accessory. Alright, since you're still with us, be sure to like and subscribe for classic TV deep dives. Now, let's get back to the countdown with number 7. Wait, Wonder Woman can sing?
Spirit move me every time I'm near you, whirling like a cyclone in my mind.
Yeah, Wonder Woman can sing, and not just karaoke at the cast party sing. We mean touring with a band, cut a studio album, and headline in Vegas kind of singing. Before the tiara, Lynda Carter fronted a high school band called The Relatives with none other than Gary Berghoff on drums. That's right, Wonder Woman and Radar, the crossover we never got but definitely needed. She later hit the road with the Garfin Gathering and released her first solo album, Portrait, in 1978, right in the middle of her Wonder Woman fame.
Just one look. And I felt so hard in love.
And she didn't stop there. Later albums like At Last, Crazy Little Things, and Red Rock and Blues showed off a voice that could handle everything short of monk chants. Carter also headlined several musical TV specials, including Lynda Carter's Celebration in 1981, which earned her an Emmy Award for her performance. Not bad for someone who was still deflecting bullets in satin tights just a few years earlier. She also lent her voice to Fallout 4, performing original songs for the game, and even starred in Chicago on the West End. Turns out she didn't just save the world, she could also bring down the house. Number 6, Lynda Carter wasn't the first Wonder Woman on TV. So, here's a fun fact. Before Lynda Carter became the Blueprint, ABC gave us a very different Wonder Woman. In 1974, they made a made-for-TV movie starring Kathy Lee Crosby, and it was something. There was no tiara, no powers, no magic lasso either. Just blonde hair, a red and blue tracksuit, and what can only be described as aggressive beige energy. More 4th of July jogger than superhero. Instead of a superpowered Amazon, Crosby's Diana Prince was a government agent with decent martial arts skills and a vague sense of justice. It was loosely based on the I Ching era of the comics, when Wonder Woman gave up her powers. And I'm going to emphasize the loosely part, okay? It was a version of Wonder Woman we didn't ask for, but got anyway. The ratings were respectable, but not exactly wondrous, and ABC got the message. 1 year later, they hit reset with a new costume, new powers, a new actress, and actual ties to the source material. Enter Lynda Carter in the new original Wonder Woman, because apparently Wonder Woman, we swear we got it right this time, didn't test well. This time they remembered she's supposed to be a superhero. Revolutionary thinking, ABC. Number 5, Wonder Woman had a little sister and she grew up to be an Oscar nominee.
Drusilla! Hi, Diana.
Before Deborah Winger was earning Academy Award nominations and making Richard Gere fall in love in An Officer and a Gentleman, she was twirling into a star-spangled romper as Wonder Woman's kid sister. In 3 Season 1 episodes, The Feminine Mystiques Parts 1 and 2, and Wonder Woman in Hollywood, Winger played Drusilla, aka Wonder Girl. She had the lasso and the tiara, and just enough confusion to make you wonder if Paradise Island had freshman orientation. It was one of Winger's earliest roles, just after her film debut in Slumber Party 57, and while it definitely helped launch her career, she was reportedly not thrilled about the part. She even turned down a proposed Wonder Girl spin-off, worried she'd be typecast as a comic book sidekick for life. I mean, can you blame her though? She had bigger things ahead, like Terms of Endearment, Shadowlands, and proving that you can go from Amazon intern to Hollywood royalty in just a few short years. Number 4, Lynda Carter took hands-on to a whole new level. While her stunt doubles, Jeannie Epper and Kim Renee, handled the high-risk stuff like leaping off buildings and brawling with bad guys, Lynda Carter insisted on doing as many of her own stunts as possible, especially the wire-assisted jumps, mid-air landings, and fight choreography. Her secret weapon was ballet training, which explains why some of her flight scenes felt more like an interpretive dance with punching. She'd twirl into a kick, leap over obstacles like a gazelle in boots, and somehow make it look graceful to knock out a thug while wearing a patriotic swimsuit. One of the wildest examples is the helicopter stunt from Season 2. Wonder Woman grabs onto a helicopter skid and takes off into the air, no harness and no nets. The stunt double was obvious, and obviously not Carter, so she jumped in literally. Carter did the stunt herself, grabbing the helicopter as it took off and holding on for the shot. No wrist hookups, no safety wires, just pure grip strength and a sense of let's make this look good. The studio wasn't thrilled. Apparently they nearly lost it when they found out their lead actress had dangled from a flying helicopter over a canyon, but the shot worked and it even made it into the opening credits. Turns out Wonder Woman didn't just fight for justice. She also fought for the perfect take. Number 3, Lynda Carter was cast after only a year of acting. Before she became TV's most iconic Amazonian, Lynda Carter's acting resume was very short. Her most notable credit was a single episode guest spot on a forgotten 1974 cop show called Nakia. That's the gig that technically got her into the Union.
He plays a good piano, but he's not much on women's lip. I'm his wife.
She'd been acting for less than a year, and when she landed the role of Wonder Woman, beating out hundreds of more experienced actresses, including a few movie stars. Why? Well, because as executive producer Douglas S. Kramer put it, she didn't just look like Wonder Woman, she was Wonder Woman, and he wasn't wrong. Carter had the poise, the presence, and the kind of calm authority that made spinning in circles and changing outfits look like a legitimate crime-fighting technique. Her screen test reportedly wowed the network almost instantly, and just like that, she went from near unknown to cultural icon in a single TV season, proving that sometimes it's not about the number of credits you have, it's about whether you can rock a tiara like you were born to wear it. Number 2, Wonder Woman got a soft reboot and a softer cancellation. The final episodes of Wonder Woman weren't just loose ends, they were a test drive for a full-on reboot. In The Man Who Could Not Die, Diana Prince was suddenly based in Los Angeles, working under a new IADC boss, Dale Hawthorne, played by John Duran. But the biggest shakeup? A genetically enhanced man named Brett Cassidy, played by Olympic gold medalist pole vaulter Bob Seagren, who joined the team. Brett was introduced as indestructible, as in bullets bounced off this guy like he was made of Teflon and plot armor. Clearly, Cassidy was being groomed as a new sidekick, or maybe even a co-lead for a retooled Season 4. Combine that with the two-parter The Phantom of the Roller Coaster, and you basically had a mini pilot season hiding inside Season 3. CBS wasn't buying it though. Ratings had been slipping, and throwing in a genetically modified Super Bro wasn't enough to save the show. So, the final episodes were aired out of order, the rebooted arc quietly fizzled, and Wonder Woman vanished from the schedule without a finale or even a proper goodbye. Number 1. Lynda Carter crashed the credits like a queen. Just when you thought Lynda Carter had hung up the golden lasso for good, surprise! In Wonder Woman 1984, fans got a mid-credits treat. A mysterious woman in a blue cloak rescues a child from falling debris.
Excuse me, please, you have to let me thank you, Miss Asteria, wow.
It was a queen returning to her throne. She wasn't playing Diana Prince this time, she was Asteria, a legendary Amazon warrior referenced earlier in the film. Basically the original superhero OG, and honestly, perfect casting. It wasn't just a cameo, it was a coronation. A wink to fans, a nod to history, and a reminder that you don't need CGI or billion-dollar budgets to embody Wonder Woman. Sometimes all it takes is presence, poise, and decades of being that girl. And there you have it, there's 15 facts about Wonder Woman. Did you know them all? And which ones did we miss? Let us know in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming up next. Until next time, this is Remember When.